Adesso è il momento della radiovisione. Qui all'interno del nostro Voyager, come vi dicevo, abbiamo una protagonista, un ospite speciale, Sophia Smith Galer. Welcome to London One.
Thank you.
Welcome. How are you, Sophia?
I'm very good, thank you.
Oh, nice. Sophia, I'm gonna speak with you half Italian, half English, because you're a Brit Italian.
Yeah. Capisco tutto,
Capisci
senza
tu-
problema, ma a volte è difficile per me parlare.
Beh, comunque sei molto brava a parlare l'italiano.
Oh, grazie.
You're very fluent.
Wait and see, aspetta. Yeah.
Beh, te la sai cavare molto bene. Allora, Sofia in realtà è molto famosa perché lei è una TikToker, ma prima di tutto è una giornalista. E pensate che il 2022 was one of your greatest year because sei stata messa nella lista di Forbes Under30.
Uh-huh.
E poi British Vogue ti ha addirittura messo nella lista delle 25 donne britanniche più influenti di questo paese. So, very big responsibility.
Sì, una bella introduzione, grazie. It is a big responsibility, but for me anche totalmente normale per me.
Why is that?
La vita non ha cambiato.
Beh, sì, certo. E comunque sei andata avanti, hai fatto diversi progetti, sono nati nuovi libri, insomma, comunque.
Esatto, e per me è il giornalismo moderno.
Di cui parleremo oggi.
It's a necessity to put myself sulle queste piattaforme.
Bello.
It's really important to do it.
And TikTok was one of your platform where you decided to make journalism available, especially for young people, I believe.
Yes, we've known from the beginning that it's where not only young people, but all adults are increasingly getting their news. So it's not only TikTok, it's Instagram, it's anywhere that puts out this kind of video. That here in the UK, I talk a lot about vertical video. It's how we're all beginning to get our information. It's not the only source, but the point is it's increasingly becoming one of the biggest sources that we do that. So as a journalist, I think we have to think about, okay, how do we get high quality information out there so that everyone can access it? It's all about making our work more accessible for digital audiences.
Ecco, rendere il nostro lavoro, quello del giornalismo, sempre più disponibile per le audience che sono molto più abituate ad accedere su piattaforme online. Il giornalismo deve essere presente anche su TikTok. Noi lo facciamo come Radio Italiana, non facciamo i balletti su TikTok, but we make information available to younger generation. Ad esempio, voi lo sapete per chi ci segue, molte delle notizie che vengono diffuse qui in Gran Bretagna noi le raccontiamo in lingua italiana.
Mhm.
So we make our audience more aware about what's happening in the UK, what does it mean coming here, settle themselves after Brexit and so on. So I think it's quite important, and we get a lot of followers as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's wonderful that you do that, and you'll probably see you get more engagement with those videos.
That's true. Ma non è questo il punto, perché oggi parleremo di tante cose con Sofia. Prima di tutto dalla sua origine, perché lei è italiana ed infatti io volevo mostrare un video, è stato il primo video che io ho visto e che mi ha attratto, e da lì poi è nata questa conversazione con te e da lì io ti ho conosciuta, ti abbiamo conosciuta noi di London One Radio, ed è proprio questo video qui. Guardiamolo insieme.
Italian expressions using food that will dramatically improve your life. You know, rose tinted glasses? Italians were like, no, I am blinded by slices of ham. Avere le fette di prosciutto sugli occhi. She's like parsley. È come il prezzemolo. I've understood that this means like someone is everywhere all the time, not necessarily when they're wanted. In fact, it can be expanded to prezzemolo in ogni minestra, parsley in every soup. I found these online, by the way. We're going to need proper Italians in the comments verifying how popular they are.
Questo è soltanto un estratto del video, perché è un po' più lungo, dura circa 1 minuto e 30, e tu ti sei messa proprio alla ricerca di questi Italian expressions.
Un'ora più.
Un'ora? Wow!
Per ogni video, sì.
E no, sai cosa mi ha attratto questo prezzemolo, no? Il prezzemolino, because my grandma used to say to me, "You are like a parsley" in every soup when I was a little child. But I can tell you that questa espressione on young generation don't use it anymore, but still it is in our tradition, in our culture.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. Ma i prosciutti sugli occhi,
occhi?
yes, we use it, especially when there are relationships involved. Love relationship.
Non puoi avere la moglie ubriaca e la botte
Dai,
piena.
piena.
Questa espressione.
Vedi? Anche quella, yes, we use that. Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
good.
But the idea to make this shirt is perfect. Britannia, look at
Yeah.
that. In
Guarda.
Regno Unito. When did you make it? Recently, actually.
Una settimana fa.
Una settimana fa. Quindi penne, la pasta, vabbè, al dente, mi raccomando.
Perché sono inglese, ma mia famiglia è emiliana.
Ok.
Mia nonna è trasferita qui quando aveva 20 anni.
Wow.
Ora ha 94 anni.
Oh my goodness. And she
Holloway Road.
Holloway Road, and she married a English.
No, il mio nonno, anche italiano.
Ah, tutti e due italiani.
Ma lui è trasferito qui quando aveva 7 anni.
7 anni, quindi it was like the World War period, I believe.
Esatto, e solo parlava il dialetto. Lui non parlava l'italiano, solo il dialetto. E quando ero giovane, mia mamma e la mia nonna parlavano in dialetto, non l'italiano.
Non l'italiano. And you learned a little bit of dialect?
Sì.
Tipo c'è una frase, a sentence in your dialect?
Quando beve il tè,
Sì?
mia nonna dice, le mie dus. Quando
What does it mean?
it's not sweet enough.
It's not sweet enough.
Yeah, when she complains that there's not enough sugar in the tea, she goes, le mie dus. Ma in italiano, like the proper Italian, how would I say it's not sweet? Non è dolce.
Non è dolce abbastanza. Abbastanza is like enough, is not sweet enough.
Okay, sì,
Yes,
dice le mie dus.
Yeah, exactly.
When my mum is sort of telling her to move back a bit, va andare con il cul. Non il culo, il cul.
Il cool. Fa ridere questa cosa.
Sì.
Però è bello sapere che, cioè, tu che sei inglese, sei nata qui a Londra, riesci ad imparare a capire anche il dialetto nostrano, no? Del tuo territorio,
Sì.
d'origine.
E anche parlo lo spagnolo e l'arabo.
Quindi diciamo che la cultura italiana ti ha spinto, it's made you understand more about learning new languages.
Forse sì. Anche lo spagnolo mi aiuta con l'italiano.
Ok, interessante. Beh, comunque sono due lingue latine, Latin languages, so it's very easy to learn more about it. I can see some pasta there.
Yeah.
I want you to understand if you know this kind of pasta.
Yeah.
So have you ever tried that? It's fusilli.
Garofalo.
Yes.
Oh, this one.
It's a long one.
Never had fusilli lunghi.
Okay. You can try tonight. For sure.
Thank
It's a gift for you. You can try tonight fusilli lunghi by Pasta Garofalo. It's very nice. If you go to restaurant, you'll find it. It's quite unusual sometimes for our.
I've never eaten.
So penne, rigatoni, it's quite easy.
I'm a big
to get
penne fan.
A penne fan. Well, yeah, let's try that. and
Ma
see.
l'ho fatto perché non esiste. Like there's no. If you are Britalian, there is no maglia. There's no vestiti for us.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist. So that's why I made it.
So you're gonna create a brand about it. Why not?
Why not? I have so much free time. Yeah, I just made it for a laugh. But people, this is on my Etsy. If people want it, they can get it.
Oh, nice. But have you found any type of Britalian community here? Do you have any Italian friends or Britalian friends?
I spent my whole teenage years singing in La Chiesa di San
Peter Church.
Yeah, St. Peter's Church in Clerkenwell.
Okay, so you have a big community there, is Italian community. Padre Andrea, now there is Padre Andrea.
Yeah, so I sang there all my teenage years, and then it was a bit different for me, especially compared to my cousins. My cousins all went to Catholic schools in North London,
Right.
so Finchley Catholic, St Michael's, and then I got sent to a school outside of London.
Right.
There were only 3 Italians in the year, and we were all half something, half this, half that. So one of my best mates, she's half Greek, half Italian. I'm half English, half
Oh, that's
Italian.
quite nice.
We're all half, all really mixed, and people have really
International.
different backgrounds. But it meant that I didn't go to school really with other Italians, and
But what do you bring of your Italian origin today?
in my life, well, it's my diet remains
Your diet,
mainly
okay.
Italian. And I love the music, especially because I grew up singing.
So you listen to Italian music anyway.
Yeah, and I was in training to become a classical singer right up until I was about even into my early 20s, and it was what I was going to do. I wasn't going to become a journalist.
Quindi non stava diventando una giornalista, pensate, lei ascoltava sempre musica italiana, soprattutto l'opera, e voleva diventare una opera singer, ma ad un certo punto nella tua vita sei diventata giornalista.
Sì.
What made you do this?
Ma anche perché la mia nonna cantava nelle montagne in Emilia-Romagna. La musica è molto importante per la mia famiglia. Ma when I was nearing the end of my degree, I had studied Spanish and Arabic, and especially in the Western musical tradition, they're not the most useful languages to know, which is a great shame because there's a lot of incredible music in those languages. But already my path had started moving in a different way because of that decision, and then I just decided that I wanted to
tell stories.
Yeah, I wanted to tell stories and try and understand and help other people understand what was going on in the world.
Oh, that's quite...
And that took me out of what I found could often be very closed, elitist theatre spaces. There's elitism in journalism as well, but that's what started to sort of take me away from the musical world.
Quindi quando lei ha iniziato ad imparare l'arabo e lo spagnolo, poi ha capito che in realtà la sua vocazione era quella di raccontare le storie, perché quando tu impari una lingua, impari anche una cultura e quindi la storia di quei paesi, e da lì poi è nata questa tua voglia di scoprire tante realtà e diventare poi una giornalista. Ed infatti arriviamo proprio a questo punto, perché le lingue ti hanno portato a raccontare anche come si impara una nuova lingua. Devo dire, sei molto brava a fare questo. Get Fluent With Me is a book, your book, but it's also a project. What's about it?
So Get Fluent With Me, it's an online store for lovers of language and languages, and I started it this year because even the little bit of Italian I've said here, I know I'm speaking in un misto, ma I couldn't say anything before this year in Italian.
But what's the difficulties? It's the grammar, it's the richness of the
I've never been taught to speak it.
Okay.
So I've only ever listened. It's really common, like I think per tutti I nipoti nell'estero, no? Like it's really common if you have a grandmother or grandfather who is Italian.
Yes.
And you migrate. And your family you raise in the
UK
the other
or
country,
other countries.
In the UK, so none of the grandchildren in my family speak Italian.
Vedete, quindi i nipoti dei suoi nonni che sono venuti qua nell'epoca della guerra non hanno ascoltavano parlare i nonni o i genitori in italiano, però nessuno ha insegnato loro a parlare l'italiano. Quindi Sofia sta facendo tutto quanto da sola e soltanto quest'anno è riuscita un po' a impararlo meglio.
Yeah, and my cousin actually went to study Italian, so a couple of us have wanted to change this in adulthood. I wanted to do the same thing, and I've tried to incorporate what I learned in my Spanish and Arabic degree into helping me learn Italian now. Ma è più difficile because when you're a student, the world gives you things to learn a language, including time.
Right.
You know, if you're doing a degree, you just have all these hours to devote to language learning. I'm now a grown-up. I have a job. I have rent to pay.
Many things.
I'm a journalist. I have to make TikToks. Like, so many things. So I wanted to create a method that could help people like me still learn Italian.
Nice. Adesso vuole creare dei metodi che aiutano le persone come lei, che hanno già una vita comunque indaffarata, è una giornalista, deve pagare le bollette, l'affitto, sai, tutte le cose così. Come facciamo a imparare l'italiano velocemente? And now the question is, will then Dua Lipa learn to learn Italian, Spanish and French by the age of 35, as she said?
I said that of course she can, but it will require some of the things I'm trying to do for myself. But any language learner should keep it consistent. So that's where I've been falling short. You know, it's really hard for me to make time every week for Italian lessons, but I will be doing that as soon as I can.
You can listen to the radio, London One Radio,
yeah.
Italian radio station. You can learn Italian.
Exactly. Immersion. Going to Italy. I'm going to Perugia next week. I'm speaking at the International Journalism Festival in Perugia.
Ah, well done. Very famous. L'International Festival del giornalismo a Perugia è molto famoso e lei sarà una delle protagoniste, date anche le sue origini italiane. Can we anticipate what you're going to talk about or not?
It's about how to go viral on TikTok with journalism.
Ok, quindi come diventare viral su TikTok se sei un giornalista. E I think you made also a new course or something.
I do, yeah. I made a course on Skillshare, which people can do, which is about, I've tried to distill everything I know in my brain into like an hour.
Okay, so like Skillshare is like a platform.
Yeah, it's, imagine you do a lesson, but you watch it on video rather than
that's fine.
have me in real life.
Remotely. Ok,
Yeah.
quindi se volete imparare come diventare virali su TikTok facendo la carriera del giornalista, lei sta creando dei corsi su Skillshare, ci sono già alcuni disponibili e potete lì su quella piattaforma capire il mondo del broadcasting sul digitale. She's a journalist. We talked about some women like Dua Lipa, and I want to talk about women because talking about women has been part of your life for recently as well. And BBC wanted you to create a podcast on the occasion of the Women's International Day. This podcast is available on BBC Sound, and it's Where to Be a Woman, dove essere una donna. Dove essere una donna? Dove? Where?
Dipende.
Dipende.
Ma sì, è un podcast dove chiediamo dov'è il migliore posto per essere una donna, per esempio, per essere multilingue, o la parità di retribuzione.
Di retribuzione, anche the pay gap, the gender pay gap, where we can basically avoid these problems, challenges.
Esatto. So every episode parliamo con gli esperti, and we look at the studies and we see what they tell us, and they give us una valutazione, informazioni.
Is there any positive information recently?
All the time.
Oh,
all
nice.
the time. It's really important to me to do solutions journalism. So it's not only that you investigate something where there could be problems, it's that you not only like provide the solutions, because non è il mio lavoro come presentatrice, ma quando parlo con gli esperti, con le donne di questi paesi, it's up to them to tell us how they have created a solution where they live. And the point is that we ask all of these questions around the world to figure out, wow, why is this country really doing well here and we aren't? What could we introduce? And in the podcast, abbiamo una mappa, abbiamo come utopia femminista.
Okay.
And every episode we decide, what are we going to add to nostra mappa? What are we gonna include?
Oh, that's nice. Quindi, come vi dicevo, lei è stata chiamata addirittura dalla BBC per realizzare un podcast sulle donne in occasione del Giorno Internazionale delle Donne. Io faccio una piccola traduzione per chi magari non sa molto l'inglese e abita magari in Italia. Ed è interessante perché non parla soltanto delle soluzioni o delle sfide, chiede, ma vuole capire proprio dalle donne, dagli esperti, quali paesi sono migliorati su certi aspetti che vedono le donne comunque protagoniste di un settore lavorativo rispetto magari ad altri. Quindi imparare dagli altri paesi per introdurre queste iniziative anche nel nostro e cercare di migliorare la nostra situazione sulle donne. Cosa significa e cosa è significato alla fine di questo podcast per voi essere una donna? Cioè, what does it mean being a woman today, nowadays, in 2024? Do you think like there is we need to make more awareness about our problems, what we face now every day, daily?
Sì, perché quando penso cosa significa ancora, significa difficoltà. Altra volta penso con l'espressione, no? La moglie ubriaca e la botte piena. Forse sono non la moglie, la donna, perché non ho bisogno di un marito.
Di un marito,
sono
esatto.
la donna ubriaca e voglio anche la botte piena. Voglio una carriera, ma anche voglio una famiglia.
Brava.
Piuttosto è difficile.
Yes, because ci sono questi stereotipi, no, sulla donna. Se sei una donna in carriera non puoi avere figli. Se hai dei figli non puoi avere una carriera. Anche parlando con questi Italian expression, la moglie, no, come dicevi tu, anziché dire donna, si usa sempre questa terminologia, la moglie, cioè la donna deve essere sempre affiancata da un uomo, quando in realtà non è così. We can live in without anybody else, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a podcast, like, tratta dell'uguaglianza di genere, ma quando parliamo dell'uguaglianza,
sì,
la verità è che ci sono due parole importanti. It's not only uguaglianza, anche l'equità, perché abbiamo esigenze.
Yes, needs,
Yeah, like we have esigenze like diversi. Like we've got different needs, and it's not always about direct equality. It is also about equity, and that's a theme that returns to me time and again. It doesn't really matter what I investigate.
But what do you think is the difference between these two terms?
Because
they're quite similar, but there is a difference.
Yeah, for me to be able to access and enjoy the same opportunities as, for example, my partner, my boyfriend, the solutions in order for us to access those same opportunities may not be the same, because we do have differences. We are not identical people. We have differences, and one of those differences is gender. If we think about intersectionality, is that a phrase that is used in Italian as well?
Not much, to be honest. Yes.
Yeah. How would I say it? L'intersectionalità.
Yeah, l'intersessualità.
Yeah, like it's the idea that me and him, like, we might need two different solutions to get to the same place. Exactly the same. There's me, a white woman, and there may be someone who is a woman of color who faces different obstacles. In order for us to get to the same place, we may require slightly different solutions.
So you are saying that even amongst women, there is different ways to get to the same point,
exactly.
the same solutions.
You could be of different racial backgrounds, different class backgrounds, and it's like, yeah, of course we are all equal and demand equal rights. No one's questioning that. It's about, how are you going to enable us to be able to access those rights? And that is what equity is.
Oh, that's quite interesting topic. Quindi, come avete capito, in questo podcast si capisce sempre di più come poter arrivare allo stesso punto, allo stesso obiettivo, ma rispettando anche i nostri background, perché ognuno è diverso, e questo è anche la bellezza dell'essere umano, che ognuno ha la propria identità e va rispettata, e quindi in questo podcast basta ascoltarlo e scoprirete veramente tantissime chicche. Ma volevo sapere anche da parte tua, no, che lavori sui social, è cresciuta la consapevolezza della donna grazie ai social, e cosa hai notato, quali sono i topic che secondo te le donne condividono di più sui social?
C'è più consapevolezza, ma anche ci sono problemi, perché per esempio un settimana fa
Yes?
Instagram ha limitato i contenuti politici sulla piattaforma.
Ok.
E quando parliamo dell'uguaglianza di genere, per esempio, è un problema politico con soluzione
Sociale, sì.
politici. And you're telling me I can't talk about this on Instagram. So sì c'è più consapevolezza, ma it's at risk. C'è un rischio ora. But what I would say about our habits on social media,
Yes.
come le donne condividiamo più contenuti personali, per esempio. That's
So
something that we do.
experiences that we had maybe in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
Con la mia
Specializzazione? Yeah, it's very
non
hard,
posso
that
dirlo.
one. Or like internazionalizzazione is like...
Specialism.
Yeah.
Con le notizie, il giornalismo, condividiamo le notizie più di nostri amici,
Right,
che sconosciuti, like traditional media. We are more interested in sharing things we have heard from people we know, from our relatives, from our friends. They become quite influential news sources for a lot of women around the world, more so than traditional news.
right.
So when it comes to the news we find on social media, that becomes quite important as part of our information journey that we have online.
That's quite interesting to know. Quindi, secondo anche la sua percezione, dato che lei lavora sui media, soprattutto TikTok, Instagram, ha notato che purtroppo la settimana scorsa Instagram, e poi lo potete verificare voi stessi, ha limitato i contenuti politici sulla piattaforma. E dice la consapevolezza sulla donna è a rischio in questo caso, perché parlare di uguaglianza è comunque una questione politica, perché anche la politica è coinvolta quando si parla di, ad esempio, gender pay gap. Quindi tu, piattaforma social, mi stai dicendo che non posso parlare di queste cose? E poi quello che ha notato, certo ci sono molte più donne che condividono le loro esperienze, e questo sta facendo avvicinare la digital audience ad avere un understanding anche a 360 gradi di quello che capita al mondo femminile in generale. Quindi we can have, for example, an Arab woman or from different backgrounds, Italian, French, who can share their experiences, and you have a 360 degrees perception of what's going on in our female women world. And I think this is something that you talked about probably in the podcast too.
In the podcast, we always hear from two countries, and we always hear from a woman expert in that country telling us about what's going on in her country, what the problems are and what the solutions are, and how she has been part of working on the solution.
Cool.
So it's inspiring.
Very inspiring. Al nostro WhatsApp, lo 0792 66 23 977, potete naturalmente fare le vostre domande alla nostra ospite Sophia Smith Galer, che un po' ci ha parlato della sua vita, delle sue origini, ma anche di quello che fa. And now I'm very curious, because I know you're going to Italy, but not only in Perugia, I know even in Florence, in Firenze.
Yeah, Firenze dopo. Perugia.
But it's like a holiday, or
that's a holiday.
Finally.
That's finally.
You found some time, because you've been very busy.
But it will be my third time at Firenze.
Third time. Okay. What do you most like about Firenze?
Gli Uffizi.
Gli Uffizi, ok.
Bistecca fiorentina. Il ristorante Quattro Leoni.
Regia, che degli Edit sono toscani. Quattro Leoni, li conosci? Il ristorante, sì,
yeah.
È buono. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that I will spend. I'm only there for 3 days, but I'm going to.
Don't get stressed, please.
No, I'm going to go to Quattro Leoni at least once. And yeah, I'm actually hoping to spend more time in Italy this year.
Okay.
I can't quite reveal all of the reasons why, but I'm working on a project that demands learning more about where I'm from.
Oh,
And learning more about il dialetto piacentino.
grande, bravissima.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm really interested in endangered languages around the world. And il dialetto piacentino non è un dialetto, è
It's
una
a
lingua.
brava, like a napoletano
Esatto.
is the same.
So I'm so interested in all of this, and I'm hopefully going to learn a lot more about the endangered languages of Italy.
Oh, that's quite interesting. And it's very important because you're British, you're a British Italian, but you have a British audience, I believe. I mean, international, a lot of Americans, I believe,
Yeah.
English. And it's important because you are highlighting a problem, which is Italian sounding, the dialects, which is a language. And many of us, even Italians, don't understand that. And third, you are promoting Italian culture, you're discovering so many stories about us, and even to make other British Italians to understand more about their origins.
Yeah, because my mum didn't know that it was a language. So when I said to her that the dialect, you call it dialect, but it's not the dialect, it's a language.
It's a language.
Like, is it? And then I looked up the law in Emilia-Romagna, and it's not a standard language. It's not an official language of Emilia-Romagna. So the minute a language isn't official, the chances of it being protected diminish. And then, certainly in the case of Emilia-Romagna, it's not standardized. So the dialetto piacentino that my nonna speaks is not even the same lingua that someone in Parma speaks. There are variations.
Yeah, the variation in each part of the region. Yeah, I know. In every region of Italy is like that. So if you go to different towns of the same region, the dialect is diverse. Different.
So where are you from in Italy?
I'm from Apulia. So if you go to Gargano, which is north of Apulia, we have a certain dialect. But if you go to the south, so like Bari is quite famous, Bari, etc., you have a different dialect, and it sounds like either French or Arabic, actually.
That's cool.
And there is an artist now, it's very famous, Serena Brancale, and I want to say hello to her. It's very good. Now she made a new song in Barese, which is a dialect, and if you listen to it, it's like, oh my goodness, this is French or this is Arabic.
That is cool. Yeah. I love it when artists do that. I can't remember her name, but I found someone this week who, I think she lives in New York, but she makes she takes Sicilian folk songs and she translates them into English. And
oh my God, yes.
Turns them like bilingual.
Bilingual, yes.
Yeah, like from Rosa, what's her name? Balies, the singer. It's like a surname like Balistreri or something.
Balistreri, okay, yes, probably, yes, she is.
So she was a very famous folk singer in Sicily.
But no, I know that you like an Italian rapper who lives in London.
Yeah, Caldo. He
Caldo.
Came on my TikTok algorithm last week, and I couldn't believe that there is a Britalian rapper who sings in both.
And we're going to invite him in our studio now.
You must.
We're going to call you Sophia, he's here.
Yeah, and I'll listen. Yeah. I really want to see him live. Like, I haven't felt this excited to try and see someone live in a long time. I'm going to see him.
Nice. Quindi è bello sapere che Sofia comunque è molto interessata al nostro paese, vuole imparare addirittura il dialetto, trascorrerà parte della sua estate, credo, non lo so, di quest'anno in Italia, non ci può svelare perché, ma ci sono dei progetti in corso, e in più a lei piace un rapper Brit Italian che si chiama Caldo. Chiedo a voi da casa se conoscete Caldo, se l'avete mai ascoltato. Comunque dopo che Sofia ce l'ha detto lo inviteremo in radio. Sofia, before ending this lovely conversation, it was lovely to chat with you today. What's your next project coming on?
My next project?
Something that you can tell us.
Yeah, I know. It's really annoying when I have stuff that I can't talk about. But if you are interested in endangered languages, please follow me at Sophia S. Galer on Instagram. Because then
fine.
You'll find out my secret that I can't tell you about yet.
Okay, so we can follow you anyway.
Yeah,
on TikTok as well, because sometimes there you Update us.
Yeah, but next week, Get Fluent with Me. I've been working at the Camden Roundhouse on a business accelerator for it. And on Tuesday, we have a huge pitch competition. So it's very scary. I've never done anything businessy in my entire life. And for the first time, I'm pitching it as a business. I've had to write a business plan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're competing for money. And it's my passion for learning languages and appreciating languages, because I love learning about languages that I don't know a single word of.
Right.
I'm going to Poland tomorrow, and I've been learning these facts about Polish.
Oh my God.
And they're really cool. So it's fantastic, like where languages have taken me. All these like varied and interesting opportunities. So I'm very grateful.
We're gonna follow you during this adventure. Very interesting. Thank you very much. Grazie mille Sophia Smith Galer per essere stata qui con noi. La nostra trasmissione di London Calling termina qui, anche perché sono quasi le 19 in punto. Noi ci ascoltiamo un pezzo molto famoso, quello di Endless Love, con Lionel Richie e Shania Twain, qui su London One.